Melania Trump had an interview with the silver fox himself, Anderson Cooper, on CNN the other night, where she addressed the rape allegations launched towards Donald Trump. Now, before we get into it, we're going to take a look at the videos.
He described it as locker room talk. Mm-hmm. To you, I mean, you sort of alluded to that as well. Is that what it is to you, just locker room talk?
Yeah, it's kind of two teenage boys. Actually, they should behave better, right?
He was 59.
Correct. And sometimes I said, I have two boys at home. I have my young son and I have my husband. So, but I know how some men talk, and that's how I saw it, yes.
So in the first video, Melania goes on to talk about how the same boys will be boys. Like, I often say, I have two boys at home. I have Donald and I have two teenage boys at home. I have Donald, my husband. And Anderson Cooper was like, he was 59 at the time. But, you know, what I want to discuss with this, specifically this, is the insanely ironic situation that the Trump family has found themselves in, because Donald Trump consistently criticizes Hillary Clinton for standing by, in his own words, a rapist, right? He calls Bill Clinton a rapist all the time, even though, I mean, these are baseless, right? And says that Hillary Clinton is forced to stand and apologize for a rapist. Well, technically, Donald, that is exactly what's happening right now. And I know for a fact that he'll probably go out and say, Melania's so strong. She stood by my side. She's amazing. And then it's this weird, same cyclical situation that Donald Trump has found himself in. Now, the second video is actually about the timing of how these, or when these tapes have been released. Now, in politics, there's this concept called
the October surprise.
God damn it! Yes, that's what I was going to say. It's the October surprise. So obviously they were holding on to this for this specific instance, and that's why it's making massive waves right now. What's really interesting to me, and I keep constantly saying this, is that why is this a surprise? Why now? Why now are people going, finally, this is unacceptable. I have sisters in my family. Like, if he's shitting on Rosie O'Donnell, whatever, she's a big girl. She could handle it. But, like, now all of a sudden it's like some people still trying to defend him and saying locker room talk, and those people are assholes. But now, finally, this is what it took, Paul Ryan, for you to finally denounce Donald Trump. This is what it took. Not Mexicans are racist. Not we should ban all Muslims. I mean, not rapists. Sorry, not racist. Not Mexicans are rapists. Not we should ban all Muslims from immigrating into the country. Not thousands of things. Not shitting on a Gold Star family. Not what else? He has so much. He's just so much. Donald Trump has said so much shit. John McCain. He shat on John McCain. Said he's no war hero because he got caught. And you guys stood by him. John McCain stood by him after those statements. What a pussy. You used to be a maverick, John McCain. I'm so upset with you. God damn it. Anyway, but yeah, that's why the timing of this is eventful and important. What do you think? What do you think about Melania just supporting Donald Trump, standing by him?
Well, I think that she absolutely had to do this interview. You know, I can only imagine the meeting with Trump campaign advisors just sort of telling her, you have to speak out, you have to address this, because a lot of people are wondering how, you know, he was married to her at the time. And I think we can all agree, well, at least you and I can agree, who knows in the comment section below, that the rhetoric he used is not something that if I was married to someone, I would want to, you know, hear them saying. And I understand what locker room talk is, you know, what boys will be boys talk sort of, well, I don't know what boys will be boys talk sort of thing is, but that is not what I heard on the Donald Trump tape. Does that make sense? Like, I mean, I would even say that you and I have engaged in like locker room talk, but if it were to ever come out to my girlfriend, you know, talking about, I'm trying to think of like, we've talked about sort of celebrities and but never to the point of the sexual assault sort of thing. I would hope that if you and I were to talk about something behind closed doors, and that you were to say, or I were to say something so, bragging about, I could just grab girls by the pussy, that one of us would call each other out. And that's what really bothered me in this tape, was that Billy Bush was just encouraging him and egging him on. So I think it's not accurate to call it locker room talk, because I know, we sort of know.
We've both played organized sports. We've both been in locker rooms, and that's not the conversations that take place in locker rooms.
A girl
However,
is cute or something, and you can be like, ooh, wow, like she's really cute, like without escalating.
I would love to have sex with her. That's still acceptable. Like it is. It's like let's say that's the worst thing you can say, but that's still acceptable without saying like, I would love to rape her, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a fine line between, like you don't have to even map it out. You don't even have to say like I would.
It's a fine line. I think it's a pretty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty obvious line between like, oh, that girl's hot. Oh my God, I'd love to hook up with her, and saying like, I will grab women by the vagina. It's so unacceptable. But then again, I also do see the other side of things where this is a private correspondence between two individuals that did not know that they were being taped. And are we going to start policing private conversations? Or should we be aware that we are constantly being surveilled and something might come out in the future? So there's this weird duality, and I hate to say this, but I do kind of see that side of things as well. And that's why I'm always in disbelief, because the public statements that Donald Trump makes are far worse, and he has the motivation and intention behind it, where he's saying that to advance himself, and we don't get upset at that. But then the private conversation he's having with someone where he says you can grab him by the pussy and they won't even say anything is far worse for everyone all of a sudden. Like it's private correspondences between two individuals. I think that that's a really dangerous precedent. I really think that the fact that these tapes are coming out and we're really publicly bashing. I said this back when we talked about Donald Sterling, the fiasco, and weird parallels can be drawn there as well, where he had said, just don't go out and take photos with these black dudes. Mm-hmm. Like, you can fuck them if you want, you can be with them, just don't take photos with them. I'm embarrassed by it. But then the weird parallel there is, to me, that wasn't that bad, what he said. Like, it was bad, but it was private communication. He didn't know he was being taped. He didn't know he was about to be blackmailed. What's worse is Donald Sterling, just like Donald Trump, who was also sued by the government, didn't allow black people to live in their properties, would discriminate against black people when he was renting out his properties. Mm-hmm. Ironically, so did Donald Trump. That is far worse than saying, grab him by the pussy, or things against women.
You know, I don't think that we need to qualify what is worse to how some people will interpret one thing as worse than another thing, because, I'm sure a victim of a sexual assault would find his comments so much more affecting than, his housing policies.
Oh, no, absolutely. But like, even about women, he said these terrible things in the past. Yeah. That's what I'm referring to.
I just mean that all of them are bad without putting one on this is the worst thing. But everyone will have a different perspective. Now, what I would say as far as the, private conversation, Billy Bush at that time when he was doing these interviews, and certainly since then, is a professional. He's been hosting for years and years. Yeah. I would hope that he would know that so long as you are wearing a microphone, you should assume that your conversations are not potentially private. I know that even you and I, when we sit down before we're taping, and I've developed a pretty serious crush on Demi Lovato in recent days, and maybe I would talk about that, but I probably wouldn't do it when the microphone was on, because you never know. You just never know. Like,
I'd grab Demi Lovato by the pussy.
No, that's what I mean. Like, locker room talk for me, the sort of talk that I would engage in with you is like, look at, like, she dyed her hair blonde, like, she's really cute. Like, do you think, maybe she's going to this place, or what if I saw her? What do you think? I don't know. My locker room talk is stupid. I regret making that point, because I sound like a 15-year-old that's never seen a girl before.
I know.
But in any case, I just think that this was careless on their part, and Melania is obviously now trying to mitigate the damage, and I don't think it worked. I want to salute Anderson Cooper. I think he did a great job in this interview of
Always.
of holding her. Yeah, we salute you, Anderson Cooper. He did a great job
So good.
of holding her to the points that have been brought up since this tape was released. And you know, he does a really good job of forcing political figures or politicians to answer pointed questions, and that's something that we don't see very often. So I'm glad
Like
that
in the
we are
case
talking
of
about
Wolf
this.
Blitzer. Yeah, but we want to hear from you guys. What do you think about Pussygate? Should private correspondences be made public? It's what it's called, Pussygate.
Yeah, I just have another question when you're done.
All right, do it.
What is locker room talk? What is okay locker room talk? Is there okay locker room talk?
Should we police what locker room talk should sound like? Leave us your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm Hasan Piker. This is Grace Baldridge, and we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.